Welcome back, I'm Sean, and today we're checking out a really cool smartwatch from Huawei that will definitely get you excited with all its technology and performance. So let's check it out. The Watch Fit 3 today was sent over to me by Huawei for review, but this is not a sponsored post and my review will be based on my honest and unbiased opinion. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel and ring the notification bell so you won't miss any future tech reviews. So there are two variants of the Watch Fit 3 you can get, where the regular coloured models with their nice looking straps come in at 599 Malaysia ringgit or about $128 and the nylon grey model that I have here or the leather models come in at 699 Malaysia ringgit or about $150. So definitely a very competitive price as compared to their competitors from Samsung or Apple. So if you're interested in buying one, do check out my links below. So the first thing that I'm happy to say is that unlike the Samsung and Apple counterparts where their watches only works for their native OS counterparts, Huawei is actually graciously enough to allow you to pair this watch with any Android or iOS phones with no problems. Of course, Samsung used to do this in the past, but not anymore. So starting with the weight of this watch, because that's the first thing that you notice with this watch, and it comes in at only 26 grams. Which is extremely lightweight, and as compared to the Apple Watch Ultra that I have here, which is almost 2.5 times heavier at 61.4 grams, so the Huawei is very light and easy to wear. So the watch here is made of an aluminium alloy body with metal buttons all around and a very gorgeous red metal crown here, and at the front here is a nice standard glass panel with a huge screen with a 77.4% body to screen ratio, which looks really nice. So if I swipe down here, you can see that the screen actually extends the edge, which is really cool. So that beautiful display in the front is also thanks to the high-resolution AMOLED display coming in at 1.82 inches with a resolution of 480 by 408 and a pixel density of 347 ppi. And looking at the watch at standard wrist height really looks exceptionally beautiful, and I also need to mention that this watch actually goes up to a brightness of 1500 nits at max brightness. So if you use it in bright outdoors, definitely is not a problem. So at the back of the watch, you see a nice gloss black plastic housing that also houses the PPG heart rate sensor as well as Huawei's proprietary magnetic charger at the top. So the strap that I have here is also the nylon version, and it's like basically a fabric loop, and you can actually get a whole bunch of them from Huawei, and it uses a very nice simple quick release system, very similar to the kind you find on Apple watches. So you just press the button and this thing pops out and you can pull the strap out. So battery life wise, this is also going to be very exciting for most people because with very minimal use, the watch can last upwards of 10 days without charging, and Huawei gives you their circumstances and use cases scenarios in their website so you can check it out. And with regular use, 24-hour heart rate tracking, sleep tracking, stress monitoring, the occasional phone calls and music playback, you're going to see about 7 days of battery life, which is actually really impressive still. Even with the same circumstances with the always on display on, you will still get about 4 days of battery life. But another thing to note is that also whether you use GPS to track your workouts, and if you do, you definitely get a lower battery life. However, as compared to the Apple Watch Ultra, even with GPS tracking, I am at most getting about 2.5 days of battery life if I truly want to drain it to zero, but I usually just pop it onto the charger when I'm showering or when it drops down to about 30%. So I also did a test run with the Huawei Watch Fit 3, and running it 5 kilometers with GPS on drains roughly only 3% battery life, which is really impressive. So this watch is actually pretty decked out with all the features. For starters, the watch uses a Bluetooth 5.2 chipset to connect it to your phone for syncing and basic connectivity purposes. And I haven't seen this in many sport watches nowadays, but if you're really serious about tracking your fitness, you can actually connect various heart rate monitors, speed and cadence sensors to the watch itself via Bluetooth, which is really cool. And water resistant rating wise, you're getting a 5 ATM rating and up to 50 meters water resistance, which means you can bring your new watch swimming. However, do note that 5 ATM does not mean the the watch can withstand high water pressure, so standard swimming and submersion is fine. So on top of that, you get a whole bunch of tracking such as your heart rate monitoring, your SpO2 monitoring, sleep monitoring, and Huawei actually have a true sleep capability to provide you with insights of your sleep. So you can also get female menstrual cycle monitoring, stress monitoring, calorie tracking, as well as breathing exercise. So it's pretty comprehensive there. Huawei also says that there's a pulse width arrhythmia analysis that enables the watch to monitor for potential AFib or premature beat risk. However, please always consult your doctor before any monitoring because this watch is not designed as a medical device. But finally, you can also receive call notifications and accept calls on your watch via Bluetooth, which is awesome. So under the sports tracking, there are hundreds of sports to choose from and it's easy to organize, but the cool thing with this watch is that there are some guided warm-ups or run courses that will guide you through your workout, so it's like having a personal trainer on your wrist. So the watch interface here is simple and easy to use, and if you use any smartwatches before, you're going to feel right at home. So at the home page here, if you press on the screen long enough, you'll be able to swap between all the different watch faces that you have, and you can also load some of them into your watch. So swiping from the left will bring up your smart assistant. Basically, it will intelligently prompt widgets depending on your usage patterns. And if you swipe from the right here, you will go into all the different cards, starting from your activity rings, your heart rate monitoring, your overall health details. But all of this can also be adjusted inside the app itself, so you can customize it to your liking. So swiping from the top will get you to your command center, and this is where you can go into settings and you can toggle a lot of changes here. And swiping from the bottom itself will bring you into your notification center. So if you press on the crown, this will bring you into the menu here, so you can just scroll around, similar to what you have with Apple. And at the bottom button here, this is defaulted to the workout menu, but this is also configurable, so you can also take a look at all the different workouts that you have. So in the app, the first tab allows you to look at your health information, and here you get to see everything related to your health, your heart rate, your exercise, your sleep information, all under one tab. So the second tab lets you start your workout activities, but these are all the things that you already can do with your watch. And the device page lets you see your beautiful new watch, which I believe is also model specific because it shows the model that I have. And here you also get the battery percentage, which is great. Below that, you get to select and sync the different watch faces to your watch, and the good news is that the watch doesn't replace the watch face that you've previously loaded, which is good. So below here, you see mostly settings and not so much an app to monitor your health status, so that is done in the first page. So here you can enable your health monitoring, your sleep details, notifications, and many more. So here you can also update your firmware when there is a new one, so you always keep your watch updated. And that's basically everything you can do with the Huawei Health App. So far from my test, I think the watch has pretty good accuracies, and based on my experience with my workouts and my runs, and also comparing it side by side with the Apple Watch Ultra as my benchmark, I think the watch does very well with heart rate monitoring and workout tracking, generally being close to and accurate to the Apple Watch with some slight variation here and there. So for the most part, when I was running, whenever I look at my watch, because I'm wearing two watches at one time, whenever I look at the watch, my heart rate is always almost the same. But the only thing that I noticed is probably the GPS accuracy, so I'm not too sure which one is more accurate. But I ended my 5 kilometers run on my Apple Watch Ultra, but my Huawei watch tells me that I've already run 5.09 kilometers. So there is a slight variation there of 90 meters, but it's really quite small. But overall, I think it's pretty accurate. So overall, I think it works well with my test with general well-being as well as sports tracking. So this is my first time checking out a Huawei watch, and I'm truly impressed with the quality of their products. That the watch is beautiful, amazing AMOLED screen, comes with built-in GPS, all the features, monitoring and tracking that you need, all on a smartwatch that is very lightweight as well. And I also like that it's priced very competitively as compared to other watches in this genre, except for the Apple Watch. So that is it for this review. If you find this video helpful, smash that thumbs up button, share this video everywhere, and if you haven't yet subscribed, do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.